Good morning, you guys. I want to share with you guys how my life has changed this last week, so bear with me. I don't have my little tripod, so we're gonna hold it, okay? The dog. Also, I just woke up, so I got the bed head going on. Don't mind me. You guys are getting me first thing right out of bed. So, if you've watched any of my content more recently, that I've been kind of in a transitional phase in my life right now. And it's really been about my business and me, and then there's like this merge going on right now. If you don't know, I'm an esthetician and I specialize in lashes. I have over a decade in the industry, and in the last 2.5 years, I have created a salon environment where I brought on girls, sometimes trained them, and helped them grow within the environment, even so much as to leave the commission and go on to rental in my own space. And as all of this has been really amazing and really cool to watch unfold and get to do in a new community, like I've only been here for a couple of years, it also has it feels like I have been in a hamster wheel. So if you knew me 3 or 4 years ago, like I was always talking about how I was going to move to Arizona and I was going to open up a lash school and I was going to teach lashes, and so I did that. Like I came to Arizona and I got the certification to become an instructor and certify other technicians in the state of Arizona. However, I I I struggled. And what I mean by that is I personally have an insecurity that I'm being vulnerable and sharing with you guys right now, but I feel like, you know, that's what we need to do. We need to be vulnerable sometimes and like put it out there in the universe and let it go. But yeah, I struggle with my own insecurity of like my intellectual. Most of my life, I've heard, "Oh, she's an airhead. Are you sure your hair isn't blonde? What an idiot! So stupid." I struggled in school, and I have ADHD that I didn't get diagnosed with until I was damn near 40, and so it all kind of started to make sense, why I struggled so hard most of my life. And now I don't look at my ADHD like it's some crippling, horrible thing. In fact, I tried to use it as my superpower, and it is what it is. With that being said, when you are, you know, when you are struggling, it's like feeling like you are the ugliest person in the world, and then being told like your calling is to model and wanting to be a model, like you want to be, like wanting to get up on that stage and show the world your like confidence and like how beautiful you are, but internally you feel like the ugliest person in the world. Well, that's kind of how I feel about associating my name with the term teacher or mentor, because it's really hard for me to associate anything that is in a leader mode when my whole life I've been told or have felt internalized that I am not equipped and not smart enough to do most things. By the way, this is not a calling. I'm not looking for like any sympathy. In fact, I hope that if anybody is feeling this too, that this is inspiring, because it does. It gets inspiring, okay? So hear me out. So over the course of the last few weeks, I have really felt like I'm not sitting on my potential right now. And as much as I've loved the journey that I'm on and what I have created, I just knew that I had been on a hamster wheel, that I needed to really leap, not even take a step in, but just fucking dive into teaching, which is weird when you are an insecure person about that. Like, but you have to understand, I'm listening to my head and I'm listening to my heart, and they're both telling me like, put that aside and focus on this. Now, I've only taught 2 classes before this, so I've been sitting on a certification for a year where I could be helping other women, growing careers, leading their own empires, and I haven't, because I have this like fear of looking like a phony or like I'm incapable. When I decided to stop listening to the world and listen to what my mind and my heart and my soul were telling me, I gave up full control, that I was going to control anything going on outside of me, because that's what I have been doing for a while and it hasn't been working. And so it's like, when you know your journey, your like what your mission on this earth is meant to be, like you then have to realize like everything that you're doing that isn't that is not going, you're going to keep hitting dead ends, you're going to keep having failures. You have to get on the right track. So I leaned all the way in, and I have already shared with you guys like the really weird like coincidences or synchronizations that have happened, that have really led me to believe that this is the path I'm supposed to be on right now. And today is our 5th and final day of our 30-hour Lash training, and what I can tell you is that I've never been more clear in my entire life that I was meant to be here this week and doing exactly what I've been doing. Yes, we talked about lashes. Yes, we learned mapping and the anatomy of the eye and the hair follicle of the eyelash. And we talked about safety and sanitation and went over our kits. And we talked about business, and I helped them build Instagrams and told them about what the term SEO means and what they need to do to be a leg above everybody else in the industry. And we went over those things, and it was the basics, and it was good, and I executed like I was some fucking buddy else. It was really weird. It was really weird because yes, it's what my mind says, and yes, it's what my heart says, but I struggle to take what's in here and get it to verbally come out the way that it's in here. So for some reason in these last 4 days, it worked. Like it was like there was no struggle. I wasn't stuttering over my words. I wasn't pausing trying to figure out the big word I was trying to say. I am not stupid. I'm not. Like, that's a term that I'm giving up on I'm not saying that anymore about myself. I'm very fucking smart. But yes, I do have learning disabilities that can fucking make me look dumb sometimes. And for some reason, these last 4 days, they turned off. Like, the switch turned off. And we not only had like these educational moments, these business breakthroughs, there was this insane connection we shared almost every day, where there was some very raw, vulnerable, like down to the core of their souls, talking about fears of failure, fears of what their friends and family are gonna say about the real shit. And I got to be the person to say, I've been through all of that, and you're gonna be okay, kid. I didn't really say kid, but I'm just like, you guys are gonna be, like, I can already see it. Like, you are gonna be amazing. And to have them be like, it feels so nice to have someone believe in me, and it's so good to have somebody to talk to that, understands where I'm coming from and understands that it's a scary world out there, and everybody is watching, and some are judging and some are inspired, but you have to just keep going. And this week, just, I don't know, it was a true testament that I really think the next chapter of my book is, you guys watch, like, I think I'm leveling up, and I really think that the next chapter for me is so incredible, because I don't think it's just education. I really think I'm going to be inspiring, and I think that I am going to motivate and help others to see their true potential and to grab it and make it their own. So anyways, thanks for listening. I needed to get this out.